people of YouTube. So yeah, as the title probably suggests, I don't know what I'm going to put it right now, but yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video than I normally do. Instead of showing everything I picked up recently, although some of it probably will be, I'm going to show you some of the things I've been playing over the last 6 months. Yeah, so back in the day, we used to do on Retro Collect Forum a little sort of challenge sort of thing for playing 52 games in a year. It's called a 52 game challenge, funny enough. And yeah, so we was doing that for a few years. Every time you completed a game, you took a screenshot of it, the completed screen, and then just posted it. And yeah, just tallied up your results to see if you could manage to actually play some of your games, because as we all know, we like collecting and filling up our rooms, but we tend to like forget about actually playing them. But yeah, so this is a good way to solve that, really. So it was a bit of a community spirit, there was a bit of competition in there and everything, but unfortunately some people came along and kind of spoiled it just by putting like silly games that like take a minute to complete, where some of us are playing like big RPGs, or at least like 15, not average games that take about 10-15 hours sort of thing. So it was kind of spoiling the fun of it. So I think the guy Joe, he was doing it all on his own time sort of thing, all like tallying it all up, putting everyone into a score based thing, and I think yeah, he had enough. He kind of like stopped it once, and then we all said please bring it back, and he did it, and then I think it was just yeah, too many bad eggs really. But I mean, I carried it on, a couple of others, we sort of like share what we've been completing and everything like that. So yeah, I love to see what people have been playing, because it's always good to see, just like how I love to see people collect games. I just love seeing like what people think about them, really, see if it's worth me picking things up in the future. But yeah, so definitely a bit of a different one. I don't know how long this is going to be. Might be a quick one, might be a long one, I don't know. But yeah, still flipping boiling out here anyway, sweating away. But yeah, so start it up then. Right, so start of the year, I picked up, well, I didn't pick it up, I've had it for quite some time now I think, Aliens Infestation. Yeah, this is a great game. It's by Sega. So yeah, this is sort of like, it's a bit like the old Mega Drive and SNES versions, except it's like a roguelite sort of thing. So you have 4 Marines that you walk around trying to like do like these little missions to get yourself further and further along the actual place. And if you die in this, that Marine's gone. You can't get him back. So you've got 4 Marines, but as you go along, you progress, you find other little Marines, and they'll come back into your base, and so you can like swap over. If their health's low, you can swap them and things like that. So yeah, it's a really good game. Pretty hard, but I managed to beat it. I was quite impressed by that, because I didn't think, sometimes games like this where it's like a roguelike can get a bit frustrating and stop me playing. But as I say, with this 50 game challenge thing, it helps you actually try a bit harder than normal. So yeah, that was that one. Next up, this was, I think I got this this year, but I've had these for the Xbox 360 and the Wii U. So this is like a multi-pack of Rayman games. So this one is actually quite a hard one to get, especially the English one. The Russian one seems to come up a lot more, but stop talking collecting now. So it was actually, I think it was Rayman Legends I played of this one. I can't remember. It's the second one anyway. It's the one that should be on the Wii, that was designed for the Wii U. So it's a lot of touchscreen levels and stuff like that. So yeah, Rayman, the new Rayman games, very beautiful looking games, but I think the touchscreen in this one kind of ruined it a little bit. Great platforming, and played it to the end because I mean it was just something to do in the old Vita while I'm bored at work. But yeah, the original one's a lot better, like a lot more music based sort of platforming in it, so a lot of fun still to be had. Next up, oh Dirty, I've played a download game. I put these little notes in here for the download game so I don't forget, because I know what my memory's like. So yeah, I played Iconoclast, I'll put up there obviously, so everyone can see what I'm actually talking about. But yeah, you can actually get the physical on limited run games, but I mean, I decided against it. I've kind of wanted to stop the old limited run stuff. but this was free on the PlayStation Network, I believe, and that's how I played it. And yeah, it's a great like Metroidvania style game, very bright, colourful. To be honest, at the start of it, I didn't really enjoy it. It was a very I didn't like the jumping. It just seemed very stiff for me. Not like it's not the most stiff I've ever played, but it wasn't the best. But the charm in the game was brilliant. It was like quite a lot of story in it. Had lots of fun with it. It was quite a long game for like that kind of a game, and it was just really well made. So yeah, I highly recommend that one. I know a few of you probably have already picked it up. So next up in my list, I played Dragon Quest Heroes 2 on PlayStation 4. So this one is a lot like the what's it called, the Warriors series, like the Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors from like PlayStation 1, 2, 3 onwards. But it's in the Dragon Quest world. So the first one, and there was a first one on PlayStation 4, and then this one came out. And I really loved the first one. I think I put 40 hours into that one. I completed it, and then I started doing all the quests afterwards and stuff. When I played this one, I liked it. I mean, the graphics just was beautiful. I think it was the first time I played a game on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So it just looked beautiful. So yeah, really enjoyed this game. It was just really enjoyed it, but it was just a bit too open world really for my liking. It lost the quick quest sort of like action that the first one had. Like you could play it and just do one mission and then go back. Whereas this was a bit too, yeah, you had to find things a bit more, and it just lost that flow a little bit. And yeah, still a good game and very beautiful, but if you was to choose one, choose the first one, because they are quite samey but not, if that makes sense. Yep. Right, next up, Yoshi's Island for the 3DS. Now I've never played a Yoshi's Island before. I've played them, but I've never like put much time in it. It's just been like a quick pick up and play because someone's got it or something like that. So I got this for I think really cheap at the beginning of the year, and I thought I'd play it. So yeah, it's very simple, it's very basic, and sometimes with the Mario kind of games, a lot of them are like that anyway, but then they're kind of like made harder by giving like a lot of objectives, and it does have that to make it harder, but I just didn't feel like I needed to do them. It didn't give me, maybe it was just my feelings at the time, I don't know, but I just rushed through it and didn't enjoy it as much as what I do in normal Mario games. And that bloody baby screaming, what the hell's that all about? But yeah, it's alright. Quite a good looking game, but average. I wouldn't mind playing the N64 one and the SNES ones. Probably will do them soon, probably next year or something. Give myself a bit of a break. But yeah, played that, and yeah, probably about a 6 out of 10 kind of game for me. Right then, so next up. So obviously I didn't play all of these. I've been playing these on off like probably the last since I've got this sort of thing. I don't like playing all of them all at once, just because you can kind of get a bit bored of if you do it that way. I've played these on and off for quite some time now. But yeah, the one I played in particular was Mega Man 6. So that's me completed all of these on this disc now. And yeah, this is a great collection. If you have like Mega Man, or if you're in the fence of like, if you want to like try Mega Man for the first time, this is a great little thing to have. And what's really good about this is it comes with, oh, you can't really see it, it's really bright in here today for some reason. It comes with like a Mega Man Legacy Collection Robot Master cheat sheet. So it basically says what the Mega Man is weak against, the boss is weak against. So for instance, Mega Man 5, if you wanted to go to the Starman level, it's always good to, what's it say? So the Starman level, you best going in with the Water Wave. So it doesn't tell you which order to do it all in. So you got to figure that one out yourself, because everyone has their own orders, to be honest. But yeah, like, it's again a really cool little collection. So it's got stickers and everything like that. And I mean, it was quite cheap when I got it. Don't know if it's gone up in value, but as well, it's an American. I don't think the physical came out in England, but it's again, I think it's quite cheap anyway. So next up, Castlevania, The Curse of Darkness on the PlayStation 2. I always forget what these are called. But yeah, this game, like, it's the first older 3D Castlevanias I've played. I played the 360 ones and loved them to bits, and obviously all the older 2D ones. But this is the first 3D one I've played in the sort of like the older generation, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's obviously a bit of an older kind of game, so it's not like got the best pacing or anything like that, but it's got like the atmosphere that like seeps like Symphony of the Night. So I really enjoyed this game. Put quite a bit of time into it, tried to get as many secrets as I could, but I always give up near the end. I can never like 200% it or whatever it likes me to do. But yeah, recommend getting this if you can find it cheap. I believe this has gone up crazy price now. I think I paid about 15 quid for this quite some time ago. So yeah, and I finally got around to playing it. I mean, this is what I like about collecting. Whatever your mood feels like, you can go through your shelves and see what you actually want to play. But yeah, that was the game that I wanted to play at the time, and it was great. And funny enough, as soon as I completed it, I found the Xbox version. So maybe there's something in that. Next up, again, another multi-cart game. I've still got this in the system, but yeah, I got the Retro Freak, and I decided I wanted to play one of the old Marios, and the Marios that I wanted to play in particular was Super Mario World 2. I don't think I ever played it on like the original Super Mario. Oh yeah, sorry, this is Super Mario All Stars. So it's obviously the remakes of 1, 2 and 3 and the Lost Levels, which is the Japanese version of 2. They call Super Mario 2, the one that we typically know it as Super Mario USA in this version. So yeah, like, it was a lot harder than I remember actually. It was quite easy to start off with, and then it just like seemed to like become really hard. I can't remember it being like that. But when you're a kid, you just play them to death. You know everything inside out. So yeah, great game. Next up, we go in a bit more modern now. Oh, I suppose we already have. Titanfall 2. I've heard a lot of things about this, and I think I got this for like 3 quid or 4 quid or something. It says $4.99 on the back, but I might have got it cheaper. I can't remember. Even for $4.99, it's such a great price, and I really recommend it. It's got my alarms going off. Yeah, so it's like sort of well, it is a first-person shooter, but you have like lots of different things to keep you entertained. I don't like a straight first-person shooter. I like a lot of bells and whistles put onto it to keep me entertained, and it's got to be heavily steeped in sci-fi, and this has it in like spades. It's like you have mechs in it that you can come in and out of, and you control differently if you're in the mech and everything like that. There's like wall jumping that you can do, there's time travel that you can do. So much fun, and it's like a 6-hour campaign or something like that, really short, but it's like quality all the way through. Obviously it's more known for its multiplayer. The first game I think was a multiplayer only game, and that's why I've never played that one. But so for the price, pick this up if you can, because if you're into that kind of a game, and even if you're not, just play it because it looks beautiful as well if you like the sci-fi kind of games. But yeah, that's Titanfall 2. Next up, one of my games of the year, definitely hands down, Yokos Island Express. Someone was telling me about this, and I was kind of like, it looks interesting, but no, honestly, it's amazing. It's sort of like, again, another Metroidvania, except it's like it's nothing that you've ever played before. It's like a pinball platformer. Strange. It sounds really strange, but it is amazing. It's like so you've got like these little flippers all the way along the levels that you can use, and you've got like a limited amount of like movement that you can use on your character, and yeah, you've got to go and do like little missions, deliver posts and everything like that. And this was my first game I've ever platinumed on the PlayStation 4, other than obviously the Telltale games that you just do by completing them. I actually spent some time and platinumed it, so yeah, I've got a proper worked for trophy now, and as I say, probably one of my games of the year. Flipping love that game, bloody loved it. Next up, Strange Brigade. Now this is a bit of a weird one. It's hard to recommend, but I really love this game. I got this at the car boot for, I think it was like £8. I was really impressed because at the time it was still relatively new. But yeah, so this is like a 4-player, well, it's 1-player campaign, but it's also up to 4 players that you can play cooperatively. So a bit like the Left 4 Dead series, but a lot different. It's like set in like sort of like Aztec sort of like eras. So lots of mummies, like flipping minotaurs, all coming at you in hordes, and you basically have to like shoot them all down. Very stiff sort of like gameplay, but like he's got such a good humour. It's like sort of like set in like ye old, like I don't know what kind of era is it, like 20s 30s sort of like era sort of thing, where people are going around. It's a bit like an older version of Indiana Jones sort of style, but yeah, really cool. Like lots of treasure hunting, and yeah, and lots of hordes coming after you to kill you. So lots of fun on that one. Next up, right, so finally got around to playing which one is this? Batman Arkham Asylum. So I've played quite a few of the other ones. I think I've played City first, and then I played what's the other one on the PlayStation 4? Played that one. Really enjoyed it, and I always thought if I went back to the first one, I'm not going to like it so much. But a lot of people was recommending I should actually play it, even though I've played all them other ones. So I think it was a Survivor of Horror at the time. I'll link his channel down below because he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he really recommended. He said I should definitely play this. So I think straight away I've just completed the game and I popped this in, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have enjoyed the other ones more. I think a lot of people like this have got a lot of nostalgia because it was like the first game of its sort of style, really, or at least did it well when this came out. So a lot of people got a lot of nostalgia for that, and I don't. So, but I do recognise it as a really good game. I think I enjoyed the City the best. That was a really good game, actually. Not really a massive fan of open world games, but that one's cool. But yeah, like this has got like a nice lenticular cover on it, so obviously had to have that one. Next up, right, what's this one? Oh yeah, Rage. Yeah, so this is a really cool game. I can't remember if the second one, or if I knew about the second one coming out, but again, I think this might be another recommendation by Survivor of Horror. At least a lot of people kept talking about it, so I thought, I mean, I've probably had this for years, so I thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, like, so it's from the creators of Doom and Quake, but it's, yeah, this is a little bit hordy, where like people come after you and stuff like that, and like quite a lot of masses. But then there's a lot of like kind of cover shooting as well, a bit of racing around in cars and stuff like that, and try and kill people with that. Yeah, so there's quite a few little modes on it. It's got a really cool world. It's sort of like a bit cyberpunky, a bit like, yeah, a bit apocalyptic sort of thing. Really cool game. It's 2 discs. I thought it was going to be forever, and a lot of people said it's not going to, and yeah, it just sort of finishes. But lots of fun to be had. I think the second one's going to be great. I've not heard anything about it, to be honest, but I'm sure it's going to be good. It looks completely different than this. It looks a lot more colourful, but I think that will probably suit me more because it looks a bit more like, yeah, actually, yeah. This is a bit like a Borderlands light. That's what I was thinking when I was actually playing, actually. So if you've ever played Borderlands, it's a lot like that, but just not got the depth of that, so you can't upgrade your weapons the same way or anything like that. But yeah, pretty cool. Still worth a play, especially I think it's probably about a 12-hour game, this, so. Although it sets itself up to be a lot longer. And yeah, a bit of a joke game, really, to play. So again, one of my lists, there was only a couple on there, so that's that. And yeah, someone was playing it as a bit of a joke, and I thought, I want to have a quick go of it. And that game was the Great Waldo Search in the SNES. So that was an American game, so obviously I didn't have it. So I just popped it on the EverDrive and played it on there. And within 5 minutes I completed it. So yeah, just a great game. What great game. What am I saying? What? Just a silly game to just play. Like, basically, it's just like you're looking for Wally. Where's Wally or Waldo? Where whatever region you're from. So yeah, you've got like about 4 different maps, and as quick, if you try and do it as quick as you can do it in like 3 minutes probably. But yeah, such a strange game to play. So next up, we went on the old RPG trip. This is probably why I played Waldo actually, because I was playing this for so long. And that is Dragon Quest. Is it 5? Doesn't say. I think it's Dragon Quest 5, 4 or 5 anyway. And it's the Hand of the Heavenly Bride. My God, this is amazing. Like, I do really love the Dragon Quest worlds, and I've not played enough of them, and I really want to go through them all. And I heard this is one of the better ones, and I probably should have played it first, really. But yeah, really love this. Invested a lot of time in this one. And well, it's not like a really long RPG. It's not like an 80-90 hour one. I think I probably did it about 40 or 50. But yeah, a lot of fun to be had. Great turn-based RPG. Everyone probably knows about these. And yeah, I highly recommend this one. Definitely. Next up, Dragon Lair 3D. Yeah, so again, I was just looking through my shelves and everything like that, and this, I've always been wanting to play this one. I love Dragon's Lair. Really hard game. Everyone obviously knows what that is, but this is like a 3D rendition of that. So everything, all the levels that were in the old Dragon's Lair, it was just this is just kind of like beefed it out a bit more and turned it 3D, so it's become a platformer. So yeah, it's a really good game actually. It's really stiff, and it starts off really simple. And I was thinking, oh god, this is a bit boring, but then it got pretty hard. And it's still doable, obviously. I've flipping done it, so there's a lot of games I haven't done this year, but this is one that I did, and I really enjoyed it. So it's a really cool game. Really cool game. Definitely recommend everyone playing that one. So, talking about hard games, this one, Radiant Silvergun, oh my flipping god. This game, like, I've played a lot of shooters, and unless I've 1 credit continuum, I don't consider I've completed them. Now this one is a different story completely. Like, I'm sure this took me 2 hours to complete. Like, no joke, probably about 1 hour and 3/4 to 2 hours. It's that bloody long. So many levels on this. I didn't realise that. So I eventually I've got a cheat cartridge to help me run these Japanese games, because I've only got an English one at the moment. And yeah, I had to put the cheat cartridge on. I'm not afraid to say it's such a hard game. I'm going to try it again without the cheat cartridge, but yeah, it's really hard. It's really cool because instead of like picking up power-ups as you progress and everything like that, a bit like this is probably the only game that is different than what you're saying, Dave Birdsall, because you don't have power-ups that you pick up to get stronger in shooters. This one you have a different button to press and that's your different shot. So it's really cool, like a bit of a different gimmick, I suppose. Because I suppose it was one of the first controllers that had like 6 buttons, I suppose. So you got a different shot for each one. But yeah, like once you get used to that, you can. I suppose you could probably. Well, a lot of people do it in 1 credit continues. They're a lot better than I am. But yeah, I suppose once you get the patterns down. But the thing is, it's not as good as everyone makes out. I don't think. The graphics are a bit garish, a bit nonsensical half the time, and yeah, there is a lot of cheap little deaths that I found in it anyway. It was just like, I couldn't, even having unlimited continues or anything like that, I still couldn't figure out how to get away from certain things. But yeah, it's still a good game. I mean, not worth the money, not worth the price of admission, but still cool to have. And next up, Bottomline Story. Again, I love my RPGs and I love Bomberman, so I thought I'd try this. And yeah, I thought it was like an RPG. It's sort of like an action RPG, but it's just very average. I prefer the story modes in the original Bombermans. So yeah, I had to just complete it again just because I got a bit bored halfway because it all just started repeating itself. But because of the challenge, it pushed me through to actually complete it. So yeah, not much else I can say about this. If you want it for your Bomberman collection, get it. That's about it. Next up, now this is pretty cool. Again, I got this on one of my pickups and I just needed to try it, and I'm actually quite impressed by it. There's a few more cutscenes that I'd have liked, and I've never heard of this Danny Phantom character. But yeah, like, this is sort of like well, it is a shooter. Very basic, because obviously it's for kids. It's not rock hard like that, it's very easy. But it's very similar to Ikaruga, where like you've got two different colour shots and they've got two different colour shots, and you can absorb them out, or you can kill them with the other one. So they're very similar to Ikaruga. I must have thought I needed to play Ikaruga after playing Radiant Silvergun. But yeah, like, I think this is about a pretty cool game. So if you're into shooters and you've got a DS, go for it, go find it. So yeah. Next up, right, I've not actually done this on the pickups yet. This was going to be on my next pickup, so I've picked up ages ago. I've got a big one coming because I've been storing a lot of stuff up. But yeah, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. So this is the Vita version, and I'll talk about the actual collecting of it later. But yeah, so if anyone knows what this Bloodstained obviously was that Kickstarter of a sort of Castlevania game by all the creators of it all, but without the Castlevania moniker. And as a what's it called, Kickstarter extra tier or something like that, they said that they would make an 8-bit version of the game. Well, not version of the game, but an 8-bit game in that world sort of thing. And that's what this is basically. So you can probably see it there, and I'll probably shown it on there already. But yeah, you got basically like 4 different characters that you control, all slightly different than the rest. And yeah, it's a really good game. But the thing is, like, certain characters do better in certain bits of levels, which is to be expected for that kind of a game. But it just seems to be very easy if you use that right character. And I know that you can use, there is certain like what's it called, modes that you can play, and you can just play a certain character, or you can limit yourself to that. But sometimes you just kind of want to just play it as it should be. And yeah, it can get a bit easy. The final boss, they're just killed like pretty much instantly. So yeah, really cool. Like, I love how it's like 8-bit, but like uses the system's power to make it feel more modern. So that bit I love. I love that kind of. I don't like it when alarms again. I don't like it when 8-bits are too, like, new games that are made 8-bit and they're sticking to the 8-bit formula. I love how they have the look of it, but it's pushed, and obviously you can't do it on original hardware. And I love that kind of like sort of look, and it just makes me feel like how games were supposed to be progressing when I was younger, not like how it is now. I thought it was all going to look like 8-bit, 16-bit, but like have more things happening around you. That's how I thought everything was going to progress, and it should have done on the Saturn, and it did in Japan, but it didn't over here. So talking about Japanese things, I suppose, Panzer Dragoon Saga. Now, I had to play this straight away. As soon as I got this, it got popped straight in to my system, and yeah, flipping great game. Again, not probably worth as much as everyone's paying for it, but it's a great game. I'd say if it was about 50 to 80 quid, definitely worth it. But obviously, if you was to go on eBay, it doesn't cost that because people are a bit stupid. Me included, I suppose. But yeah, 4 discs, not that particularly long. I think it was about 15-16 hours or something to complete. And as I say, there's a few bits where I did have to use a guide, and it was like really stupid. It was just like where to look in a flipping room to get an item, and then I could progress the story. And it was like really stupid things like that, just because it was very crude graphics. It's not the best graphics on this game, but I really love like the battle system. It's sort of like, it's very similar to the original game, but like turned RPG style, so it's a bit more turn-based. But yeah, really cool. I really like the battle system. Really cool. Not too hard as well. I think there was a couple of hard fights, but that was about it. And yeah, so next up, Conker's Bad Fur Day. So yeah, again, if I'm going to spend some money on some games, I want to actually play them straight away, because again, these two games have been in my head rattling around going, I want to play them, but no way to play them. I can't really emulate these ones. Well, I can, but it's easy to do 8-bit and 16-bit, isn't it, really? So yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. And now, whereas I said Panzer's Dragoon Saga isn't probably the best of games, but is really good, this is probably the best of like the 3D platformers. It's got such a great humour to it. It's probably not worth the actual money that these are worth, but flipping heck, I had a great time with this. It's sort of like, except for the last boss seemed really, it wasn't hard, it just was a bit frustrating, but like how it all ended was really cool. In fact, all of it was no, actually no, it wasn't the last boss, it was just before the last boss, when he went into the Matrix mode. That was it, and I couldn't, it was really frustrating me. I was sort of progressing, then I wouldn't, but there would be no reason why I couldn't. But yeah, like, so it kind of like has a lot of like films as references for the time. So like you've got the Saving Private Ryan, Aliens, Matrix and stuff like that. So, but like really crude toilet humour all the way through it, so it's really funny, and it's sort of like you can kind of go your own way. It's a little bit open worldy really, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was all going to just be like you can go your own path, but there is a little bit that you can deviate from it all. Really cool game, and the live system was really weird because obviously I didn't play it in one go, and I racked up a few lives and then I saved it. When I came back on, I went back to the average 3. So to be honest, the live system is a bit of a joke in this, because every time you die and continue, you go back to the same place, you die anyway, except you've got a little bit of a cutscene in between it. So a bit silly really. But yeah, really cool game. If you can get a chance to play this, I think it's a lot cheaper obviously on the Xbox One, which I don't have. Go for it. And another game which I actually didn't play on this version. Well, I have played it this year on this version, but what I actually completed it on was at the arcade. I went to Bury Arcade Club with a friend, and we played this together. This is the only one game that we actually completed, because I was spending most of my time on what's it called, Ice Cold Beer, which is it's not even an arcade game. It's sort of like an amusement sort of thing where you got a ball that you got to put into holes, and this gun shooting game where you had to like get like the lowest scores. You actually shot real things, they exploded, and then yeah, like try and get as low a score as you could. Like I think you had to do it all. They had like a low score table, and I think I got into the 3 seconds, which was pretty cool. So I kind of was nearly in the high scores. But yeah, I spent most of my time in that, except for this where we completed it, and yeah, I've completed this so many times and it's so much great fun, and definitely worth the price of admission. This, if you ever see this around 50 quid, pick it up. Amazing game. And the last game I've completed this year, Rogue Galaxy for the PlayStation 2. Oh my word, I think this is definitely top 5 PlayStation 2 games now. I absolutely love this, and funny thing is, like, I've completed this on the 6-month mark. I completed this just as I came back from Doncaster Market. I thought I was going to complete it before, because I actually was playing this on the PlayStation 4. So I don't know if people know, but there is certain PlayStation 2 games that was sort of like not remastered, but just put on there, a bit like how the Xbox One has them. They're not remastered, but they've been raised up to 1080p or 4K or whatever. And they've done the same with PlayStation 2, but you've got to buy them. You can't put this disc in and play it. You've got to pay for it. And there was like a sale on like loads of PlayStation 2 games, so I actually bought a few of them for like £2 each or something, and this was one of them. And yeah, I played it and absolutely loved it. But the best thing about it, you get achievements as well. So when I looked through, it said there was 12 stages to get achievements on. So I got to the 12th stage and I thought I was going to complete it that night. So I stayed up like an idiot. I stayed up trying to complete it, and it was like 2 o'clock, and I got onto a 13th stage, and I was like, obviously I'm not going to be completing this tonight. I've got to be up in 4 hours for Donny Market, so I left it and then completed it later that night. But oh my goodness, what a game. As I say, probably one of my favourite RPGs, and it looks beautiful. I'd imagine the PlayStation 2 one just looks as good, to be honest. But yeah, completed 26 games in 6 months with that one. So I'm bang on target for completing my 52 game challenge. To be honest, the first year I did it, I completely smashed it. I think I was like 10 games over, and and I was playing a lot of shooters, I think, probably at the time as well. So that's probably why. And a few arcade games as well. But as well, loads of RPGs as normal. So yeah, like bang on target for doing it. So yeah, 6 months in. I've got a few more. I'm started 2 more RPGs, so I'll get them out of the way. And if anyone's got any recommendations for me to play next after I've done these RPGs, it'll be probably a couple of months until start, a month and two to play something. So I always have a handheld game on the go, and I always have a console game on the go. Obviously, I've got flipping loads of choice to go through. So if you recommend something, maybe I've not got it and I can go and pick it up. So let me know what I've got, and as well, if anyone wants to do a VR response to this, that would be great as well, because I'd love to see what you've all been playing, see what I need to play as well. Like I say, it's just good to see what's worth playing in my collection. I've got a good idea what's worth playing. I mean, nowadays I'm trying to pick up games to play rather than just collect, other than a few certain ones to finish out little subsets. But yeah, let me know. VR response it if you want. If you don't, just tell me a list of what you've played this year, what you've really enjoyed. I just want to put another recommendation on here. Tetris Effect. Now I've not completed this game because obviously it's flipping Tetris, but this is VR Tetris, and I played quite a few hours of this one, but about 4 hours or something, which is a lot for VR for me. I don't really play VR that much, but this is amazing. You put your headphones in and you just cast away to this other world. You don't like just you kind of have like a mission, so you got to like get a certain amount of lines, and then it completely changes the environment around you, and it's that really mesmerizes you. Like the sounds built in your movements as well, so really cool. Like one of my favorite games this year, actually. Like I really recommend this to everyone who plays it, well, who's got VR really, I suppose. So yeah, so that's a bit of a what's it called? A bit of a mention, a bit of an extra one, a bit of an extra Brucey bonus. So yeah.